Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Jim Masters Show live entertainment lifestyle variety talk show series. Look who we have joining us from the darkness of where he's located in a secret location in Pennsylvania. We have the infamous Jimmy Boots Finfera. Matter of fact, his brother is Joe Finfera, the Hollywood actor who's been a great friend of our show and on the show twice. And he said, "You got to get my really cool brother Jimmy on the show." And I said, "Absolutely." And then I said, "What does he do? Does he act? Does he sing? Does he juggle? Does he cook? He says, "Well, yeah, he does all that, but he's also a paranormal investigator and a retired bounty hunter as well." Really fascinating. I don't think we've ever had a bounty hunter on our show. Like we say, this is an entertainment lifestyle variety talk show series, variety. We always learn something. We always have a good time. And thanks for joining us, everybody. You see Jimmy right there. We're going to welcome him in just a second. First, I want to say, gang, we hope you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. If you want to comment during the show in the JMS Lovity chat room, make sure you subscribe to the channel. That's exclusive for subscribers, and click the notification bell so you never miss any of our episodes of our series. Yes, it's cool to have Jimmy Boots Finfera here, paranormal investigator, retired bounty hunter, and so much more. It's really exciting. And there he is, Jimmy Boots. Welcome to the Jim Masters Show live. I know you're very excited to be here on our show, and it's so cool to have you here. Welcome, my friend.
Thank you. I appreciate it very much.
Oh, it's my pleasure. So, hey, people are saying, "Hey, paranormal investigator. What does a paranormal investigator do?" Tell us about that. It's so cool.
Well, I mean, we look for the dead.
Yeah.
Real simple. I've been dealing with it since I was a child, though. So I did start off as a paranormal investigator.
Yes. How did you start off? Like, when did you realize that you had, this uncanny ability to really understand and appreciate and recognize some of the things that you've experienced even yourself?
Well, I didn't know what I had. I was probably around 7, maybe, give or take. And I didn't really know what I had with me, but I kept seeing things. I remember my mom and dad thought I was a little nuts. So I had some, they didn't know what was going on with me. But about 7 years old when I seen my first thing.
7 years old. Did it scare the heck out of you? And what do you recall what it was that you saw at 7 years old, Jimmy?
I didn't know what it was. I had no clue what it was. So I didn't know. So it did scare me, yes.
Oh, I would imagine, huh? Yeah. So paranormal, define that for us. For anybody who's watching who's saying, I keep hearing the word paranormal, but I don't know what it's about and what is it? How do you define what it is? You're an expert in it, Jimmy Boots.
Well, I mean, we try to prove that there's existence after life.
Existence after life, yeah.
Yes. I mean, like I said, I've been seeing things all my life, and we don't know what it is. We have theories.
Yes.
We're never going to know until it comes time for us to go ourselves.
Yeah.
We got people. Some people think that spirits or ghosts could be an alien, or it could be something totally different.
Yes.
Spirit. We don't really know.
Right. No, we don't. But so that came first for you. The paranormal, the understanding of the paranormal came first for you as early as age 7 then, Jimmy, huh?
Yes.
Wow. Now, when you started trying to tell the family, like you said, at first they thought, is he okay? Is he, just a kid that's sort of into fantasy dreaming? Is he watching a lot of late night movies? Is he reading Stephen King books or something? What's going on here? How were you able to convince the family and others that what you were seeing was happening and to win them over to start to really appreciate and believe in what you're saying?
I think it took quite a while because nobody knew what was going on until these shows start coming out, in I guess what the early 2000s, you know, and it's funny. It's funny. I had I called my mom, and I had an uncle that was there, and I was kind of telling him some of the things I was seeing, and he handed the phone to my mom, and he said, "Good luck," and he didn't believe me. Well, not long after that, he was, I believe, sitting in his bed or maybe in his motorhome. I'm not sure the whole story, but his mother appeared to him, who was
Mm,
deceased.
mm,
I think that was my grandmom trying to show him that, with me, it's real.
mm-hmm.
It scared him, and he threw a blanket on her.
Oh, he did. He threw a blanket on her, huh?
That's what I
Yeah.
heard.
So, because you experienced this, and we have some incredible images we're going to show folks exclusively here on the show of some of the things that have come across Jimmy Boots' way. Um, were you not scared of things as a kid after having that experience at 7, or did it make you more sort of fearful and cautious of things along the way?
It's funny, Jim. I didn't get, as time went on, I got more comfortable with it.
Yeah.
And now I'm really comfortable with it, and even the bad ones, which I'll tell you later about that. I had
So
one.
there's good ones and bad ones, huh?
Yes, sir, very bad
Mm,
one.
yeah.
Better believe in the man upstairs too. Pretty bad.
Believe in the man upstairs and the man downstairs. I
Yeah,
believe in both. Make sure you believe in both. Yeah.
they will.
Uh,
They will. They will come after you.
Seems like they're doing that to everybody lately. At least one of them is. Just the way the world is lately. Some people talk about that, all the signs of all the crazy stuff that's been going on lately. Um, so you've been doing this a long time, but also in addition, and we'll dive into the paranormal investigation stuff because it is really fascinating. Also, a retired bounty hunter. Tell
Yes.
me about that. That's quite amazing. That's really cool stuff as well. Doing that and going on the road and sort of searching and looking for people. How did you get involved in that work?
My bill bounced me to bail me out when I was 18 years old.
So your bail spot. So that's you. Now you did that just so you can be. That was part of your training, right? You did that so you could be trained and authentic when you
Yeah,
had to go find others.
yeah, yeah. I've been
That's
doing it
yeah,
30.
learned by doing. Exclusively. Uh, so then that sort of really appealed to you then, huh? Uh, I mean, we always see some of we see Dog the Bounty Hunter, we see some of these others on TV. Tell us about what you do that might be different than like what he does, but also the work of a bounty hunter. Yeah, I mean, you're looking for people that are wanted and
Yes. Yeah.
hiding out, and what's
You bail,
that like?
you bail them out of jail, and then when the court date comes, they don't show up. When they don't show up, then we give them a little bit of time to turn themselves in. If they don't, then we have to go look for them, and they would pay us the 10% of the bail to go find them and bring them back into justice.
That's got to be filled with risk and everything else. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the people that go and repo cars, that's risky too. And lately, with this economy, that's very busy repoing right now.
Yep.
But you're basically repoing people.
Basically, yes.
Yeah, repo. um, what's one of the craziest? You don't have to mention names of anybody, but like, what's one of the craziest situations that you ever had as you were doing the bounty hunting, Jimmy?
Well, I guess maybe there was one. I used to take my bike and go on my bike look for him, and there was one guy decided he didn't want to go on the bike, so I had to actually take him on a city bus to jail because he wouldn't ride on a motorcycle to jail. Because I would handcuff them and put them on the back of the bike.
So you ended up busing him into the city or wherever he had to go to the jail.
And Baltimore. Yes, sir. Yes.
Wow. However, whatever it takes, right? To do what you got to do. You were mentioning the bike. So you would use the bike as, like you say, we got that image there. You would use the bike as the mode of transportation to get them back or get them to where they need to be.
Yes, sir. Yeah, yes, I did. Because that's all I usually had was motorcycles. I didn't have many cars. I
Yeah.
love to ride, and that's my life is motorcycles. So.
Yes. Yeah. That's really fascinating. I tell you, it's cool stuff. And then got some great shots here. Tell us about this shot.
That's me and Liz, my better half. We were actually down in Roanoke, Virginia. I think we just had dinner there.
Wow, that's fantastic. No, no, you were hunting for a good meal.
Yes.
That's it. Now, has she gone on any of these bounty hunting excursions with you?
Not them, no.
The paranormal investigations?
Well, a lot of stuff you see are here. I've been with Liz for about 7 years now.
Yeah.
A lot of the pictures I've sent you are the
Yeah.
ones from here,
Yes.
from the pandemic and so forth happening. So I just kept filming what I had going on in my house. So she's done things with me here. Yes, she has.
These are some very cool shots we've got here. So do you, as a paranormal investigator, are you hired by people who then say, we have these things happening in our home or wherever they live, or, whatever the place may be, and you have to go and investigate it, spend time researching, digging, waiting for it to show up and return? Like, what is that like? How does that work? Is it that, people are looking to figure things out and then they call you to come in and help them figure it out?
Well, first of all, we never charge. You never charge to do this ever,
Wow, really?
right? And usually somebody calls. They have a problem in their house, and a lot of times, for instance, my partner, for instance, they just bought a new house, and there was nothing happening in that house whatsoever until the day they start remodeling the house.
Yeah.
Then once they start remodeling the house, they start having things happen, several things. So then you start documenting, obviously, and it was because some of these people, this is their home. This was their home before. They built that house, and that was their life. And so if you're doing change, some of them don't like that change.
Right.
So that's what happens, and then the hauntings start, and it's been documented quite a bit that that this has happened.
So these are basically hauntings that are happening to people in their where they live. Is it sort of kind of like, if many people are familiar with the Amityville horror story and things of that nature, is it kind of like that as well?
Well, that's a little on the far fetched side, maybe. I mean, there's evil out there. Don't get me wrong, but that's a little on the far
That's
fetched side.
more dramatized,
Yes, sir.
dramatized for like movies, and
Great movie.
it was a great movie, right? I've seen the house. I've driven by the house. It's in
Yes.
Amityville, Long Island. It's eerie, yeah, when you do see when you do see it. Um, we we have some really amazing photos here that we want to show. And I think it's really, really cool. And, we'll take a look at them first, and then I'll have you explain them. Gang, um, take a look at some of these incredible photos, and they're really gonna, they're gonna be quite amazing. And then we will have our expert here, paranormal investigator and retired bounty hunter, Jimmy Boots Finfera, tell us some of what we're seeing. Here's one of the shots right here, just by itself. But let's take a look, gang, at some of these incredible photos that we have here, and then we will have Jimmy telling us what we're seeing. This one here, again, is really, really cool. So we're going to take a look at them starting right now. That's amazing stuff, my friend. That's amazing stuff.
All here. Every one of those are here at this house.
Every single one of those have happened at that house?
Except for one. Um, the one that looked like a white snake. That was done. A young man contacted me. His dad was killed in a motorcycle accident up the street here, and we went over and did investigation over there. He needed closure, and we were actually able to provide it for him.
Wow. Let's
And then
go through those again, and maybe you can really define, like we started with this shot. What's happening here?
that is a guy looking at me through that window divides my office area and our kitchen.
Yeah.
Guy's looking at me through the window there. Now I think I'm working at my desk there or something, and I might even been doing a ghost box section where I would talk to the spirits using the ghost box, which I brought some tools out so I can show you guys too as well. This one, I had an incident happen many years ago when I was 18 with my first wife. We went by a graveyard in Bel Air, Maryland, and this green-looking face appeared at my window, at my windshield of the car. And I remember looking over at her, and she said that, yes, I seen it too. This is a thing that actually attacked me for probably 10 years, only when I took a nap. I'm pretty sure that's him. This is out by the car, and it's actually two spirits there. It's actually what I gather to be a woman and a man. They're one of my first ones that I've seen here at this place. I seen it first out by the pond, but it appears to be a woman and a man, a couple. Also, by other evidence I've got on the ghost box and so forth as well. And that's them again.
That's amazing. So do you find it as a gift when you see these things happen? I mean, when you have something like that appearing, is it a gift or a
Oh yeah.
curse, or how
Oh,
do you look at it?
I call it a gift. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder.
How about this one?
That's in my office here, and that guy was looking at me. Right by that's actually my laptop there. So he's right next to me. That is also here, but through the doorway, I believe. And as you can see, it appears to be a man staring down at me as well. It seems like it's the head only of him. And then that's another man. That was in the bedroom, actually. I believe I captured him in the bedroom. I woke up hearing noises and I took his picture. This one's kind of. I wasn't going to send this because part of me thinks it's my dad. Just by something else that happened with it. It may not be. I can't say for sure, but with the beliefs we have and my dad, I don't know if it really truly is him or not. But
What gave you the feeling that it was your dad? Is it something in the image, the eyes, a feeling you're getting?
the way it looks, the way the hair is parted to the side, it was just, and I was really, I was actually having a hard time about my dad at that time when I took that. Because he passed away, I think it's been like 5 years now. I still miss him.
Was it a sudden passing, unexpected, or was it illness?
He had some, I'm not really sure exactly how to explain it all, but it's some type of disease where it attacks his muscles and eventually led to his death.
There's another shot here.
Yeah, those are my kids. I have 3 or 4 kids here. That is by my front door and my desk area, kind of. I was actually taking a picture of something else when I captured those two right there. They're about 3 foot tall. Yeah, about 3 foot tall in that one. And this guy, if you look, there's a fireplace there, and that's one of our portholes there. I get a lot of stuff comes through that area. And there he is again. And like I said, everything is, what our theories and what, we believe as investigators and people that live like this. Now, this guy was, that is one of my shelves where I have equipment, camera equipment and stuff like that. And he's towards the top there. And it looked like he had a bandana on, like a cowboy, because there's a bunch of that going around here from people from the 1800s as well on this property. That's it appeared to me to be somebody of that era. And this one, oh, I can't remember this one. Oh no, okay. This, if you look, it's kind of hard to see in this one. It's kind of odd-shaped head. It looks like there's like something growing out each side of his head. I think there's another picture after this as well. Pull back some, maybe, where you can see a little better. I don't think this was a good thing, actually. It's kind of hard to see. Yeah, see where it looks like he's got horns coming out of his head to the left. Let's see, it'll be, yeah, to the left, the light there, not where the computer monitor is, but the other way. There's actually a couple of spirits there, though. And that's my artwork. That is a child, probably no more than a year old, in my opinion. I've seen him actually next to the bed when I woke up. He was actually hanging on my leg. There he is again. And that's my curtain by my desk there, and that's the same picture pulled back. And if you ever notice him a lot, peekaboo guy right there. That's peeking around my desk again as well.
I mean, when they appear like this, do you feel them? Is it a matter of seeing them, or are you also feeling an energy from them?
Yeah, I do feel that. I do. And then
And you
sometimes
can
I won't.
sense if it's a positive energy or a negative energy, like it's a good one or not a good one. You
Yes,
can sense that right away.
I can usually, yes. Doesn't mean I'm always right, but yes, I can feel it. Now, this, if you look in the middle of the picture there, those are like red eyes. That was a unique picture as well. Now, that picture, honestly, I didn't even get a feeling for. That was what was weird on that one. Now, this one is to the right of above the light there, and there'll be another picture coming in of it. Looks like somebody back from the 1800s as well. There he is.
You do see that image right there, and it almost looks like a hat is being worn. Does it look like
Yeah,
a hat,
it does. It
like a
does.
cowboy hat or something?
It does. It does. Like it looks like it's got a goatee and looks like it's got a cowboy hat on. And we
I
had.
see that.
I
I
was
do see that.
outside. I was just practicing some filming with a camera, and Liz walked by, and it must have been somebody from the 1800s. When Liz walked by, he went, woo or Yahoo or something, and that's kind of when I got that picture. Was right after that, actually, that night or the next night. No, he said woo wee. That's what it was. This is outside. That's my motorcycle lights down there. Okay, if you look straight up where the circle is, you can see the face. It's a female, and she talked to my ghost box. That's how they would know that it is a female.
Can you
But
tell the age roughly, or if it's an adult or a child, or?
it looks like maybe somebody to me in their 20s, maybe. It is hard to tell, sometimes for sure, but you see the brightness next to it, that little light that's like energy.
I do.
We get a
Hmm.
lot of lights out here and all around the house outside. I have like 8 cameras outside.
Have
And
you ever considered moving?
this is where I live at. No matter where I go, because they're always around
Oh,
me.
these would follow you, you think?
Some do, some don't. They don't always intend to follow somebody unless they really like the person. If they're like used to this area, but there's so many of them. When they know somebody can feel them or see them or hear them, the word basically gets out, and here they all come. That's just what they do. And we have asked questions. Now that's the one at the young man he was in an accident with his dad. He was on another bike, but his dad passed away, and he wanted closure, and he did this without his mom knowing because it was so soon afterwards. But he was there, and he got to hear his dad's voice and everything. That's what they call like a plasma, by the way.
So that would be considered a plasma, what we're seeing there, like you say. Almost looks like a worm or something. Yeah.
I seen that actually with my eyes as well when I captured that picture.
Mm.
Yeah, that's my house. That's my kitchen.
That's your kitchen. That's incredible. It's like the set for the Munsters. I mean, it's amazing.
And
Wow.
better half, she's the designer for me. She done great.
Incredible.
I loved it. And
That's the
listen,
kitchen.
I want people to know, please understand that we do not worship or believe in things. We don't do that crazy stuff.
Demonic and all that stuff. Satan. Right. All that.
I'm
Yeah.
a very devout Christian. I believe in God very, very much. And I talk to him every day. And in my line of my life, you have to. That's my one of the fireplaces there. She did a good job, didn't she?
I would say yes. Yeah. Makes them all feel right at home, I'm sure.
Yeah.
They know they came to the right address.
There you go.
God, I could only imagine what it must be like when you get up at 2:00 in the morning and come downstairs for a sandwich. You'd be like, wait a minute, I think I'll go back upstairs, lock the door.
You gotta remember, I am up at 2:00 in the morning.
You're up at 2. Do they ever keep you up? Do you ever have where they're haunting you, not just visiting you, but they're haunting you?
Yes, I've had that many times in my lifetime. And I had one thing I don't like is when I wake up and they're sitting over and staring right in my face at night when I'm sleeping. I cannot stand that. I just freak out on that. I yell at them. I don't stop it.
I mean, I think most people, I like to just so casually say, I just can't stand it. Most people probably would grab an axe and run out the door or something, It's like,
A
but
true story. Back in Aberdeen, Maryland, I lived on a street called Hanka Street, and it was apparently a lot of Indians were around that. Susquehanna Indians, they call them Susquehanna Hawks, were from that area. And I was sleeping on the couch, and I woke up to a full dress Native American Indian bent over doing the same thing. And when I woke up, I freaked out and I went like this and I yelled and da da. Well, when I did it so hard, he did the same thing. I scared him just as bad as he scared me.
That was, you're both on equal footing with that one, huh?
Sir. And he did.
Wow.
I mean, literally, I watched him, freak out and vanish away. But there's a lot of Native American Indians going on there. That's my refrigerator that Liz did for me.
So when you are hungry at 2 a.m., there's where you go.
That's right. Right.
That's incredible. Wow. Is that a workstation or a lab or?
That's the table.
That's the dining room table.
Yes, sir. And then that's a medieval. I'm sorry, there the chandelier. There, I think she says from like the 1600s, somewhere in there.
At the door, front door.
Yeah. Oh no, that's actually between the kitchen and the office area.
Wow. Look at that room.
Now the red couch is there. That actually came. It's from I think late 1800s from a church.
That's amazing. It really is. I mean, that's a lot of work there.
Yes, it does.
Tell us about this photo.
Just me.
Just you. Now something's happening here, right? There's other people and
That's my partner. He actually got sick and was unable to. He was going to be on here tonight with me.
oh, he's going to join us. Yeah.
I did want him to join us. He's a very good young man.
Did he get sick or did something block him from coming?
Well, that's a good question there, because we were supposed to do your show, and then we were going to work on our trailer using his house because of what I told you about the hauntings there. And he is newly married and with a 1-year-old kid as well there. So, yeah, and that is kind of, yeah, you're right.
What's happening here?
It was something up on the ceiling, I believe, what it was. In the circle there. Been a while ago. I took that, I think last year, I believe. My graphic design stuff.
Very convincing, Jimmy Boots. Very convincing.
Sure, I mean. Yeah.
Tell us about the Boots part of your name. People interested, the Jimmy Boots Finfera. Where did the Boots part come from?
So many people thought that maybe I got it from like maybe fighting in my barroom days or whatever, and it wasn't actually that at all. I was with a friend of mine and her family, and I went to Bluefield, West Virginia, to her grandparents' place, and they needed help around the house there, and that was back, I think in the 80s, early 80s maybe. I can't quite, no, I wasn't even, I think I just maybe was turning 18 or something. But we were helping around there and all take turns doing stuff. I wore them engineer boots that went over your pants because I rode a motorcycle, and that's usually what they had back then. And so I did my part of work there. And when I got done, I started shooting a basketball into a trash can, you know what I mean, goofing off. And all the other family members decided to join me, and this old man said, "I damn boots start playing ball and nobody wants to work." And that's how my name came about and never left.
That is amazing, huh?
Yeah, so it wasn't what people think. They would like to think that's what it is.
So what are some of the other, we were showing some of these amazing images here as captured. What's really amazing is I've been always told sometimes you can have a situation where, like in this case with these, you've been able to get these images, sort of these experiences documented. But sometimes, isn't it, where you can try to capture it on film or video or digital, whatever, and it doesn't show up? Is that
Yeah,
ever yeah, tell us about how come sometimes, like, you're able to get them here and sometimes it's just a blank image, there's nothing.
there is, and you have to learn. Technology nowadays is like amazing. So you have to learn little tricks, and with the cameras, that's what I do. Um, with some of them, and I have another secret that I use with smoke, but it's not just smoke. There's an additive in there that actually almost like flings like magnetic would cling to you remember them little pads that had a face on it, and then it was magnetic stuff in there, and you could draw a beard and all that on there. You
Is
remember
that like
them?
Etch a Sketch? The
No,
Etch a
it had a little magnetic deal like a pencil, and you could move the lead around inside the picture.
Oh yes.
Well, that's
Yeah.
kind of what I do with some of the pictures when I use the smoke. They're able to cling to that. Still
Mm.
more. Then I use sometimes I'll use open shutter where I allow the shutter to be open longer, so it can capture whatever's in there. And these phones also now that they have out these the cameras in them are just amazing. And you have that night shot; it can be pitch dark with maybe a tiny sliver of the moon peeking through, and it'll look like daylight. There's little tricks you have to learn to capture them. And then, of course, somebody like me that knows when they're around as well, that helps out a lot.
And we just got when people do super chat, super emoji, super stickers during our show, they do the super thanks at any time in support of the show. We thank them. And Life of Kai here says, sorry, I couldn't make it on the show tonight due to being sick, but more than happy to support and enjoy the show. Kyle, Bag Paranormal. Thanks very much. I appreciate that, Life of Kai. Kyle, very generous support of the Jim Master Show Live series that helps us out here. And it's kind of you to do that.
That's my,
Huh?
that's my part.
That's the partner, right? And we appreciate him being here. And he said earlier, tuning in live, and we really appreciate that. Thanks for the super chat. We really appreciate that. It means the world. So how did you guys get together? How did you team up? You and Kyle?
His first Harley. He came to buy a Harley from me.
Oh, really? Wow.
That's how
That is so cool. That is really, really cool. So you go on investigations together, you guys?
Now, like I said, we're putting new stuff together now. So we're just now doing all that together now. So he's come here and done some stuff with me here. And so I could, I wanted to see who he was back then and learn something about him. And he's just a great guy. Newly married, like I said.
Yes, congratulations. And you mentioned the baby too, huh?
Yep. So, good people, great people. Bought a new house. Got a lot on his plate, doesn't he?
That's good. Now, is he decorating the place like yours there? Have you given some tips?
That one.
Right. What would be one of the scariest or one of the most ominous times when you were on a paranormal investigation? People called you in to wherever. I mean, an abandoned psychiatric hospital, a warehouse, a school, a supermarket, somebody's home, an abandoned funeral parlor. I mean, it could be anything. Outside, doesn't even have to be in a structure. What are some of the most ominous, the ones that really stick with you, whether they were good forces or they were forces of evil? What are the ones that still, when you think back to them, you're like, that shook me a little bit. I'm an expert doing this for years, but that really shook me.
Well, How about how about this? There's spirits out there that also like to help, and I've had that happen several times. And these are things that I'll never forget because of what they did do. And not all ghost spirits are evil or bad. A lot of people see pictures and they think, "Oh, look at that as a demon," when it's not. Um, but I've had them. Just a, for instance, I was living in Arkansas and I was making dinner for this family I was staying with. It was actually just a lady and her son, and she was I don't know. I'm not gonna kind of put on that, but I decided to make them breakfast. I'm sorry, and I was having a good morning. I felt really good, and I was really happy for that day, and I just couldn't wait to get it going. And I remember that lady walked in there, and she said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I'm cooking you and your son breakfast." And, "Oh, why?" And then she proceeded to say, "Well, why are you doing it like this? And why are you doing it like that? Da, 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 da." It had me so upset. I mean, I was almost in tears. And next thing you know, she had this where it's shelving that went around the kitchen up top, and all her stuff, like pans and baskets, were on there, come flying off at her. And this person did not appreciate the way she was attacking me. So
Mm, mm,
things like that I prefer to remember. But as far as evil or bad, that one that would attack me for years when I would take,
hmm
that's the one that I will never forget.
How do you sleep at night? How do you calm yourself? How do you, you know, get away from it all just so Jimmy could be Jimmy and not always have these images around you? How are you able to do that?
You don't. They're always there for me.
They're always there.
I just close my eyes and go to sleep.
Really? And it works for you?
For me, for me, yes. But I'm used to it. I've been dealing with this all my life. I'm 57 years old now, so been dealing with it for a long time.
You're in Pennsylvania there, Heinz 57. Yes. So, uh, this is really amazing, when you think about it. Has it interfered with your life at all? Has it gotten in the way of your life? Has it controlled your life at all?
Sometimes they can, and they can definitely try. They can cause you or your wife to fight, or oh yeah, there's a lot they can do. Sometimes I get really violently sick.
You get sick, yeah.
Oh yeah, we went to like a flea market. Well, not, it wasn't a flea market. It was we like old stuff, and so we went to this place, and they sold a lot of the old things, and each room somebody would rent, and they would sell their old artifacts or old furniture, whatever. In this one room I walked into, I got so instantly deathly sick because I think the person that was there, I felt they didn't want their stuff sold. They must get
Ah,
that
yeah.
back. And I literally it was 2 floors, and I had to go downstairs and outside to get to feel better. I mean, it just really took me down hard.
Hmm,
Times I have felt where I feel how they died. Another
hmm, hmm. Wow.
yeah, they can cause, they sure can. They sure can.
What is another place that you've been? I mean, have you been to like abandoned psychiatric hospitals and all those kinds of places too? Have they called you into abandoned mansions and all these real funky places?
But look how many people has been on this earth, from day one. And so a lot of people have died, obviously. They're everywhere. You don't have to go to a place that's supposed to be haunted. You don't have to go to a old psychiatric hospital, whatever. A lot of people do, and that's fine. That's what they do. I haven't. I've never been to one. I'm not saying I won't go. I just haven't done it. You know, I don't have to.
I was going to say, you're not signing yourself in anytime soon,
I
right?
do get a paranormal show out there. I don't have to worry about trying to fake anything because they're just always around me.
That's
But
the other thing too. People that hear this and maybe even watching this episode of our show are saying, "Ah, come on, stuff's
sure,
not real. It's quote unquote smoke and mirrors. It's not, whatever. Nice, it's entertaining, but this stuff doesn't happen. It's not real. I want everything in black and white and in writing. How do you handle that where you do sometimes get some folks who just don't feel or see what you're seeing and don't they question its validity?
come to my house.
Is that a one-way ticket?
No, it's two ways, but that's the only best thing I can give. Look, people, I understand. I get it. I do. I don't get mad at people if they don't believe.
No.
I don't. I don't. Because, look, my whole family didn't understand what I was talking about for years. I didn't understand either, really.
I was going to say, yeah, I would imagine you don't even understand, right? Do you still, even though you're an expert at it, paranormal investigation work, are you still boggled and surprised? Every day is something unique and different that you come across.
It's funny. You see these things, you've seen it, it's there, but sometimes your mind still does do that to you.
Yeah,
My dad, being a Christian man, always said you have to have faith in God.
sure.
And
Hmm.
this, um, sorry, I'm trying to think where I'm going with this.
Yeah. Well, your
Apologize.
father, yeah, this faith in God, and yeah,
But it is there, and I don't get mad at people when they doubt me. And sometimes, Liz will tell me, "No, I think this is this and it's that," and I'll get upset with her. Then I realize she's freaking right. you know. So everybody has their own opinion of things. We do not know what these are. We never will till it comes our time to go and be on the other side. Then we'll know exactly what's happening. Obviously, you know.
are they defined, paranormal situations where people talk about paranormal activity and things of that nature, and there's been movies on it as well. Um, this could be a totally different area, but does being, like possession, like when people saw The Exorcist and there was a possession that came in, that type of thing, seances, all those things. Are these things closely related?
Oh yeah,
They
sure.
are.
Oh yeah, yes. And when you were, oh yeah, oh my God, yes. I was just watching somebody not long ago, and one of their guys, the spirit actually came inside of them and talked through them, and then the guy pushed the spirit out, and the spirit went to somebody else, and the other person attacked their friend right next to him and picked him up with one hand and threw the guy on the ground. You know,
Really?
they're very powerful. They're not to be played with. Look, I tell people all the time, I do this because this is what my life has been. I always tell people that if you haven't done it before, really, you shouldn't. It's not something to play with.
Mm-hmm.
And when you were talking about being real, just explain that the faith thing is you got to believe what you see in front of you. You can't doubt yourself, and that's what I do. So I mean, I know it's there, but sometimes I'll see things sometimes and think there's no way that's real. There's no way. You know what I mean? But it is. It's there. I see it.
Tell us about the room that you're in. There seems to be so many cool things around you there, Jimmy.
It's my office, actually. I was going to tell people, pay attention because you may hear something if you go back and watch this later, or you may see a thing. I did a podcast for somebody, and a friend of mine just passed away that night, and they said he came right up on the show right behind me. So yeah, pay attention. You might see something on here tonight or hear it.
Mm. Can it work that way? Can you know how like somebody that's a psychic medium, they can sometimes call on
Hmm.
spirits of others. Are you able to bring them forth, or did they come when they want to on their time?
They come to me. I don't ever like calling them to come to me. They're around me, so I won't do that. I don't call on things. They're already here, around me. So I look at it a little differently than some people may, but I have different things I do to deal with certain spirits that may be harmful to people and and to me. I
How do you know when? You were mentioning you were going to tell us how you can really deduce the difference between the positive energy and the negative energy. How are you able to do that, and how are you able to filter through that so you don't get harmed, especially by the negative, obviously?
what helps me the most is the man upstairs and my faith and a lot of prayer. That's my biggest weapon. Is my God, my understanding, and I use them every day. But I have, like I said, bad ones around me, and I compromise with them. And what I mean by is I have seen things in my life where where they try to push evil out. They think it's going, it's not, or they have been injured or even died. So what I tell these that are here, that I know are here, I tell them they a lot of times just want a place to stay. They just want a place to be. And instead of fighting them and taking a chance of harming myself or Liz or whatever, I said, look, you can stay here, but you can't touch me. You can't touch Liz. And I go on with all that. And for me, here it works and it helps. I'm not saying it may not work for somebody else. Now, I've had them come to me in my dream one time, and they do that a lot. They will come to you in your sleep, and you know the difference between a dream and them. And they had me. I was in a tractor trailer because I used to love trucks, so they had me in a familiar place. There were seven of them. Are you ready for this? They cut my tongue out in this dream. It didn't hurt, but what they were telling me was I was talking too much about them. So that's how I do it for me and for to keep Liz safe and again my higher power as well, my God and my understanding. And there you go.
Do they ever try to take you over
Manip-
physically
oh,
or
sure,
in other ways?
I've not lately, but I have. Oh yeah, I had one that followed me for like 10 years. Only when I took a nap. And people would say, "Man, we look at you and your eyes are open." That's when I'm trying to get away from this. And I always said that I would know who it was when it was over, be if he won or I win. And it was the same figure that I seen on my car window in Belleville, Maryland, when I was 18 or 18 years old. That's what was attacking me for all them years. It's still around. And when I fought him, it's not like fist fighting and things like that. It was the power of prayer and the Lord's Prayer. And I kept telling him I believe in God. He would say, "Just come with me. It'll be okay. I just want to show you things." And I would have to fight with my God and my understanding. And I would a lot of prayer in the dream, and then I try to pull myself out of it, and people would, like I said, would see me wake up, my eyes open, and I'm trying to come out of it. So finally, they understood that when they seen that happen, just give me a yank and help me to come out of it. But they're very powerful, Jim, and it's not something to be played with.
Do people try to do that? They try to toy or
Sure.
uh, torment or tease, and that's such a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ouija
yeah.
board. You know, I don't.
The Ouija boards. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had something happen when I was younger with that. So
You
I'm not.
did?
Yeah, I did. I walked into somebody's house back in Indiana that they were doing that in the kitchen, and when as soon as I walked through the door, the um, I forgot what they called the thing that they use.
Or the board that moves, the thing that moves back and forth. Yeah.
Flew out of their hand and hit me in the face.
It flew out of their hand and hit you in the face.
Yes. Yeah. So I've always had this. I don't know. Maybe you call it respect for the Ouija board or
Ouija board.
fear,
Yeah.
maybe.
We fear of it, maybe. Yeah.
Uh,
Mm. Wow. What about going through cemeteries? Do you, you know, is it not like Night of the Living Dead for you? I mean, do you feel or not necessarily?
no, it's funny. I like sometimes we'll go and take pictures like of the tombstones with the bike in the background, things like that. But no, I never. Sometimes they'll follow me home when they know that I can sense them. Um, sometimes they sometimes they want to be heard, things like that. But I've never felt anything bad per se. I mean, I don't understand why they would want to hang around their dead body anyways. you know, I really don't. There's a lot of things I don't understand, can't figure out. I mean, if I'm dead and gone, I'll be darned if I'm gonna hang around the graveyard where my body. You know,
That's true. Yeah, that is true. It's like, um, so when people contact you because there's something happening that they're hoping you can deduce and figure out, are they usually scared? Are they at their wits' end? Have they tried all these other things? Have they tried to put it out of their mind or whatever, rearrange furniture, sleep in a different room, everything, and but it doesn't work, and then they bring you in to sort of
yeah, we
prove it. They
yeah,
want to prove what they're feeling and seeing.
kind of. For instance, a lady down the street here, her house I think was from like 1830s maybe, and she was having a lot of trouble in her house, so she Googled how to get rid of ghosts, and she decided to do it on her own, and she got hit and realized that she, did the wrong thing, and so then she contacted us, and we went down there, and it was basically what I figured out to be it was the person that actually built the home and they just want to be there. They're not there to hurt anybody. And so I explained to him, and we took video also as well. And we got a really nice anomaly that was an orb that turned into this really, really nice light anomaly spirit. It wasn't like a dust orb or a water droplets, which they are out there. You got to.
Yeah.
This was an orb that could have been a water droplet or dust, but then when it turned into a light anomaly, it did its thing. Obviously, I knew and felt it then. But I just explained to them that she wasn't trying to hurt him, that he's allowed to stay, but he cannot touch her. Or
Mm-hmm.
I said, you can't touch these people. They want to live here with you, but they do not mind you living here as well. And she said things did calm down. So it's like things like that.
Wow, that's really amazing, huh? Mm.
It, it is. It is.
Are there, this may be a random question, are there certain areas, certain regions that are more prone to these experiences than others? Like,
The
does it have to be a more populated area, or does that
not so much
matter?
area. I mean, ghosts are anywhere, but there's a lot of stuff that gets into science that involves with crystals and ley lines and so forth like that, that can allow for energy to power lines, for instance. Some houses that may be haunted that are by power lines, which we are. We are not that far from them, the really big power lines, not your standard ones, but they have a lot of energy, obviously, and that's what we believe spirits use to do their thing, and crystals and so forth. Like, there's a lot into it. I'm not the best person with science, but I am, I'm dyslexic, so I do things a little differently than most people, and have to figure things out a little differently than most people. But yes, there is other energies around that can cause it to be more active in certain areas and less in others.
Mm. What's like the furthest you've traveled for this kind of work, the paranormal investigation work?
I never really traveled anywhere except it would always be people in my area that would ask me stuff like that. Now we do that though, so
The
that's a
bounty hunting has taken you, it took you
oh,
further places.
yeah, like, yes, sir.
Is that all over the country?
Yes, yes, yes.
I would imagine when you see situations where they're looking for somebody or it probably still, you get that adrenaline going, even though you're a retired bounty hunter now, you still get that like, gee, maybe I can pick up a phone. I can help them.
And matter of fact, I came out of retirement for a little while back, several years back, which I shouldn't have done because I had a bad leg. One guy who was a great guy, young man, but that was just stupid on me. But I did. I needed to do it. I'm glad I did do it in a way. But yeah, I still feel it sometimes. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely right. It's like being an athlete, and when you retire, you still want to toss the ball around, or if
Sure.
you're, Cher has had several farewell tours, so and then comes back. What are some things you're working on now, Jimmy?
Well, we want to. I want a show out there. I decided I want to just try to put a trailer together and try to sell it. So that's what we're working on. We want
Cool.
to incorporate other things into the paranormal. We call ourselves Bag Paranormal because we also do, for instance, Bag stands for Bigfoot, Alien, Ghost equals Dimensions.
Oh, is
And
that what that means? Yeah.
yes, because of the things that has happened to me here. And again, I was afraid to tell people when I had the first encounter with something that looked like a Bigfoot because I know people knows, okay, well, Boots sees ghosts, and now all of a sudden he sees Bigfoot too. And
Mm,
it was hard for me to deal with for several months.
I
I
would
would say
imagine. Yeah.
it is. And I went outside to clean my security camera off, and I only had one at the time. And it was 1 o'clock in the morning, and why I went out there, I don't know, but I did. And it's right at my front door, and I was climbing off the chair, and I just happened to look to the left, and about 50 feet from me, or a little left, this thing stood up. It was dirty white and gray. It was way over 8 foot tall. It took one step up the hill, and so after I changed where I went and grabbed a flashlight and a gun. I went looking for it, but I didn't find it. But this thing was just huge. I mean, just
Mm,
huge. And I got
wow.
a picture. I thought I sent it to you of something that we captured in the woods. I may not have. There's so many pictures I have, but um,
One of
that was
our viewers had asked, I believe it's Toby in California, she had asked, do you get involved with the scene of the crime? So if there's a crime committed or something's happened, are you brought in for any investigative work tied to any of this?
there's a guy I know that does do that actually out her way somewheres.
California.
Yeah, I think he's out. He may be. It may be another stat. Could be wrong, but he wanted me to get involved with that, but at the time the pandemic just started. I thought it was a little too far away, so I didn't. But I would have if it would have been a different circumstance or a different time.
Yeah.
Because I know Liz has been watching that guy that killed his wife and the children.
Mm.
Remember that? And
Yes.
police went in there and they were searching the house with the dog, and they start hearing things like voices they got on recording. Disembodied voices. So it's definitely paranormal events happening there. I think they heard the girl say, "This is my house," and then they could hear the kids as well. So yeah, she listens to all that and was telling me about that. But I thought of it, so I have.
Mm. Mm. This isn't something where you can really hang up your hat, huh? This is something that, like you said, is it's almost a 24/7
Yes,
situation for you, Jimmy.
right. It'll never go away. I'm sorry I keep covering my mouth. I just had dental work
No,
today,
yeah, no, that's
and I don't have nothing in there, so I'm embarrassed. I apologize.
that's fun.
But yeah, don't go away, Jim.
Do you use equipment? Is there technology? Are there things that you also use for detection or
Oh yeah,
anything as well?
yeah. I just bought some stuff from a place called Ghost Stop in Florida, and they came out with actually I think it's been out for a couple of years. I just bought it, but it's a like a laser grid, and it does temperature. Also, if something walks in front of it, it will show it on here. The like it's the movement of the spirit walking past it, and I believe it tells you like if it's to the left or to the right. It's pretty and also nice. And then we have this is another has a what do you call it? Like a laser comes out, and you shine the flashlight into it. And if anything walks between that and the flashlight, it will break make that sound there actually. So you'll know if something walked through that room, and that's what that does. Then you have the ghost box, like I mentioned to you earlier, which is stuff like this, and these they're they allow they scan the frequencies at different speeds that allow the spirits to be able to talk to you. Um, Sometimes it's hard to understand them. Sometimes it's not. I just bought a device to actually. I don't know if you ever watched any of the shows and you hear it going like really loud. This takes that away, so
Yes.
I'm hoping
Yeah.
that'll help. But I wasn't much into equipment like this because of all the science end of it. But now I am getting more into it because it does work very well.
Yeah.
you know,
Right. Wow.
and then I love full spectrum cameras, which is like when you would turn it on, it would look pink, and you have to use a an IR illuminator also with it. This also came from Ghost Stop, and this is a very nice camera actually. I can't remember what the price of them are, but this little camera film is just as good as my thousands of dollars the cameras we got, you know. But it's a full spectrum, which allows you to see because we can't see with our own eyes. Um, Something that doesn't have a body per se. This actually allows you to see it better if they happen to come by, walk by, or whatever. Um, I actually had a video up. I forgot about it, actually. I just put it up a couple weeks ago where a shadow walked by me outside. I should have sent that to you, and I apologize, but that was just regular camera with flashlight that captured that. But what
Mm.
it did do was it took my camera and made it blurry. So I'm trying to fix it with my light because sometimes your light will do that. You'll move it and it's dark, and so your camera gets blurry. Well,
Right.
I tried to fix it, and I wasn't walking or moving, so there's no light behind me, but you can clearly see this, we'll say, person walk right on by. The outline, shadow of it, the black shadow. You couldn't see features.
Right.
So yeah, so that's some of the equipment they have out there. But if anybody wanted to order anything like that, Ghost Stop does have a lot of that there. It's a little expensive.
Oh yeah, it's an investment, absolutely, and everything that you just described, Jimmy. Do you? Is this something you can teach? Say, for example, you get somebody. Oh, I want to become a paranormal investigator. Is this something that is a calling that happens because you're called by the things that you're experiencing? Or is it something where somebody can be trained, become an expert at it, and then start to sense some of these things, these energies and what have you, and the visualizations? Is it a teachable thing, something you can teach somebody, or is it something where you can't teach it, you have to feel it, and it just has to happen naturally, organically?
I mean, you could teach anybody how to do a paranormal investigation, but as far as um, feeling, I believe we all have some type of sense, psychic ability per se, or we all have it, I believe, but it's on how much you want to use it or try to use it. But I mean, I could teach you how to do a paranormal investigation. I could teach you how to use certain equipments or cameras. But as far as being a person that's sensitive like me, that's something that comes naturally. That's already there. Or as I say, is my gift.
Yeah, absolutely, on many different levels, for sure, my friend. It's what do you see as the future of all of this? Is this continuing to grow and evolve? What's the future of this as everything changes? And in addition to the future, do you get any feeling or energies or anything about all the craziness that's going on in our world now? I mean, you get a lot of people that are talking about various things that are energy based, and all of this stuff that's happened the last few years gets crazier and crazier than the day before. uh you know Obviously it's humans are creating it, but can you tie in any of this to all the heightened things that are happening of late, to society, to humanity, to for all of us?
I mean, it has got a lot worse. A lot more paranormal activity I've seen spark up in the past 2, 3 years. Even more now than ever. I mean, it's so bad. I mean, I don't want to really get into it because I have my beliefs in certain things, but um, yeah, yeah, I think there's a lot of things roaming this earth that isn't good. That could be adding to the fuel in the fire, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, fanning the flames of
Yeah,
some of the stuff that's happening, right? Exactly.
when the pandemic first started, I was asking questions on my uh, ghost box here, and about the pandemic, and um, they gave me answers that had to do with malaria, I believe, and stuff. Yeah, and gotta bear with me. I had a really bad motorcycle accident. My memory always isn't the best,
Mm,
but it was giving me answers because that's what we do when we talk to spirits, ghosts, whatever on these devices. We ask questions of life and death. What's it like?
right.
Is do we still love or care for people? And like one said yes, one said more, you know. So that's what we did with the pandemic thing. And I believe it was a basic medicine that they told us that would cure it. I cannot remember what exactly they said now, but I was floored to hear what I heard. I do remember that. My better half could tell you, but
Imagine she's had some extraordinary experiences with all of this as well, huh?
girl lived with me. I feel so sorry for her. We was in the bathroom doing something at the sink, and next thing you know, she goes, "Oh my God, there's a guy talking that's not here." Sorry.
That's. Is there any prediction capabilities with any of this? Are you able to get sensations, feelings, vibes that give you a prediction capability, or no, it's more really when it's happening? There's no way to predict
Yeah,
certain things.
the only thing I ever get predicted is I go play scratch off lottery and I do win. But
Oh,
no,
really?
I do win a lot. That's yeah. But no, there's not like prediction. I mean, like that.
You know, I don't know if it's a Pennsylvania thing because Jen Barry is one of our regular viewers there in Allentown. She says, "Hi, Jim and Jimmy. Jen here. I've been seeing all my life and still seeing. We people that see don't want to get too deep into it seriously, but she's been seeing things and people for years there in Pennsylvania."
Hard to tell people because they look at you sometimes like you're a nut. You know,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
gotta
I would imagine.
sure. The only thing that helps now is that it's more like I don't know how to put it here. When these shows start coming out, it opened the doorway a lot more for the paranormal and for people like me and her and so forth. So we were able to talk about it a lot more, and it allowed us to be able to kind of prove our case, per se.
Like you say, there's certain things where you're afraid, not afraid, where you don't want to talk about it or can't go into it. And is that usually because if you do, these these spirits, what have you, may return and not be so happy that you've shared in a
No,
public way?
cool. They think you're got an issue or maybe belong in a nut ward. You know,
You're right. Right. Yeah.
so and back in the day, there was people they put in a nut ward that were just going through what I'm going through today, and but they literally got locked up for it. And
Oh, yeah. Back then. Sure. Right.
some people that have what I have sometimes don't realize what they're seeing either, and think that they have other issues as well. I've heard of
How do
that.
you describe what you have? How do you define it?
What do you mean? Like, how do I let myself know it's real? I mean,
Yeah.
well, for one, other people have seen things with me right next to me as well, or have heard the disembodied voices as well. So and look, Liz thought I was a real nutbag, until she actually experienced things herself. Not just here, but other places in Maryland and so forth. You know, and one time we were having a little bit of fun, and I couldn't get a belt off. But later on, I was doing a ghost box session, and they start talking about how I couldn't get the belt off of it. So there's some of your proof right there. And
Mm.
yeah, it's back in the day though, people didn't have what we have today either. You know what I mean? Where we can document our proof, you know, and show people what we have seen. And even when you put pictures up, those people nowadays think that we, doctor them up and so forth like that. And it's not always the case. There's people out there to do it, but I don't. The only thing I ever did in any of my pictures is I may work with the contrast to bring it out clearer so you can see it, like that. But that's it. I don't change nothing on a picture. I don't add anything with this, that, you know. And a lot of times when I take pictures, for instance, outside when things were happening, I'll take like 5 pictures in one area. I'll move, I'll pan, take 5 more, I'll come back and take 5 more. The same area I just took 5 from. And that can prove or disprove something as well.
It's really amazing. I tell you, it's really amazing. Uh, you know, good thing you've got a swivel chair. You're full of energy.
All I wanted was be a Hollywood actor with my brother.
If I saw images like this, Jimmy, I think I'd have more than just a swivel chair. For sure. For sure. Again, some of these images, absolutely. See, I see a couple things. I see like a face on the left, and then I see what looks it looks like twins.
Jim, it's funny you said that. You noticed other faces there because
I do. I see it on the left, like a male face, and then I
right,
see what looks like twins.
every one of my photos that I've ever taken, I have noticed there's always many other spirits around. And I think my theory sometimes is that they pull together with their energy for the one is trying to show himself or herself, or whatever the reason, to give him the energy to show the human figure that they had when they were alive.
Ah.
That's one of my theories. And I mean, they come in all shapes, sizes. I've had them where they're something little on the floor. I have, I should have said that one picture. I got a picture where I took something outside across my pond, and it was taller than the trees that were out there. So, you know, that's my
This
little
one,
buddy right there.
that one really is,
Yeah.
you know,
That's little Chucky. That's what I call him.
yeah, but I see two.
Well, there is other ones there. That's
I
right.
see one that's leaning to the right that is sort of got a lavender purplish image, and then I see a larger gray figure, almost it when really studying this almost looks like the image that has the purple shading is almost in the arms of a larger figure, almost like it's a child in the arms of a mother. I see the mother's face sort of at the top.
Yes.
Her head is leaning to the left. And then
Yeah.
I see the child. She's in sort of this like hazy, grayish, bluish. And the child is almost sleeping. It looks like the eyes, her eyes could either be open or not, like she's looking up. And the child is eyes are closed, like he's laying on her stomach or her breast, like, and in her arms sleeping. I see the two.
And then you can see where the one picture actually you can see it a different way. So again, and if you look to your left, I believe you can actually see all the way towards the end there on the left in the middle. It looks like another child there.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Now, if you look at that picture there in the middle, it's kind of like
the, the purplish, you see the child.
yes, and it looks like almost like the Gerber baby, for instance.
It does, yes.
So I my foot fell on the floor, my leg one night when I was sleeping, and I
You
woke
know
up.
what Jen Barry says?
What's that?
She sees a puppy that passed away.
There is puppy. See, very good, Jen Berry. Yes, there is.
Kathleen sees the child. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, there is. There is animals here. Yes, that is actually the tenant that lived here before us. I actually got to own up to where his dog was playing with other dogs in here that he couldn't see as well. So yeah, there is
Mm.
other animals. And I actually have some good pictures of them. I got so many, I just couldn't figure out what to send.
Oh no, these all of these are absolutely incredible images here.
But the baby, I woke up to my foot being on the floor, and something was sitting on my foot, and it was rubbing my leg. And I looked down, and it was that child there, and he's tough. He looked like Chucky from the movie. Remember, you know how Chucky moved really fast in the movie, that horror film. That's what he kind of looked like running away. Not that he looked like, but his movements were like the movie.
Yeah.
He crawled away really, really fast. I guess when I sat up and looked down to see what was rubbing my leg, and I seen
This is this is interesting because I see three. I see a child with dark brown hair leaning on what looks like a woman. But then if I sort of look at my eye, if I look at the other photo of the Gerber baby look and then go straight to this, then I see the Gerber baby. Then I see the other child with the dark brown hair. And then above the two, the woman that sort of has a perplexed or sad face looking up to the right.
I do see that, yeah. And that's funny because I did not see that before. I concentrated so much on the kid that I didn't see
And
that.
then on the bottom left, like you say, I see another one, eyes closed and like a smile on the bottom left there.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
see like four different things here.
That's why I believe that they are able to use their energy together.
I see them merge together, like playing off each other, right? I see the energies almost like a sort of in a Siamese way, but not necessarily, but just where they're all like almost like it's a family. It was a family, maybe.
Yeah,
And maybe there was a situation where they all left due to something, house fire, anything. They went at the same time, maybe, or wow.
there is. I thought I sent you the pics, but I guess I didn't. I had this. TikTok had a app that people were catching paranormal events with. It was apparently, I cannot remember what they call it now, but it was picking up paranormal stuff. So I actually used it to see if it worked, and I actually was getting things with it as well. And one of them was outside, and I remember I looked up and I could see like 5 people, 6 people just walk right, like more like floating right down to my sidewalk. And then the pictures, they're all black and white. They're like white and black colored because that's the way the app is. But then you see like a kid, and he's looking up, like grabbing one of them's hand and looking up at it. And then there was 2 kids. Just like you said, though, it's like a family's here. It's like a family.
And there some are still seeing puppy in the center.
Yes.
Puppies. Yeah. Christine says, I see many faces, younger and older, and baby faces from different angles, and lots of dogs and animal faces, some overlapping.
If you go to Jimmy Boots Finfera on Instagram, I have a lot of that on there, and there's a few videos with EVP. You actually hear a dog yelping, and the guy, I can't remember his words now, but he was trying to get the dog away. I gave my dog a treat, and I was filming, working with a new camera, and I was trying to keep my dog quiet. And apparently, I think this ghost dog wanted this treat, and then you hear the, as I say, the owner of the dog tell him to, to back away, whatever it was he said. But it is on my Instagram. You can hear it and see it. Well, I
That's
hear it.
amazing.
Yeah.
That really is amazing. And like you said, for you, in case anybody's tuning in later saying, what are we looking at here? What is this? You're not somebody who um, sort of waves a demon flag, Satan flag, and all that other stuff that people sort of inaccurately immediately link with this kind of work, right?
That's correct. I'm not like that whatsoever.
You
There's a
come,
man
yeah,
upstairs, Jim.
yeah, you come from a much more spiritual and spirited approach to all of this. It's really amazing, isn't it? It's absolutely fascinating on so many different levels. You're thoroughly enjoying this, I would imagine. Again, it's you can't say that every day. I say that even with my life and with this show and everything else I do, every day, each day isn't always a duplicate of the other, which keeps
Right.
it fresh and exciting. I would imagine for you, same thing, huh? Not every day. You don't know sometimes what the day or the night is going to bring Jimmy.
Never a dull moment. It doesn't matter if it's day or night. I mean,
Right.
they're always around, always going to be around. I notice that sometimes it'll be more certain times of day, sometimes it may be more active than others, or sometimes that's with the moon phase or different things as well. But yeah, it's all the time. It's not just night. You know, when people watch these shows, they think it's just night. Now, of course, being dark room or darker room, it does allow you to see things easier. So that's why people do it more at night than they would investigate during the day, per se. But you want to come and have dinner with me there, Jim?
What are you serving? That's the question. What do you?
Actually, it's cooked, man. So we'll cook it.
I imagine you're using blood oranges.
Uh,
It is really cool to see the work that's been done. On this is that you said is your kitchen.
that is part of the kitchen. Yeah.
That's the kitchen. Dinner is served, folks. Yeah. And there's a refrigerator where you have the milk and the orange juice for the morning and anything else you might find in there. You never know when you open up a black refrigerator, folks, what could be in it. It could be a black hole. It could be another dimension. This is really something. Yeah, it's cool stuff. Wow. And again, like you mentioned, you're looking at that and just you look really fascinated by it, mesmerized by what you're seeing there, Jimmy.
Yeah, yeah. It always amazes me, and like I said, I believe the man upstairs, and so I want so bad that hope I'm good enough that I get to go to his place, but I still, as a human being, I get scared that okay, I know we're supposed to have faith, but I wish he would come down and sit me on his lap and say, Jimmy, I'm real. So when I see all this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you know that we don't just die. But then, of course, I get these other questions that come in my head as well. But I don't know why a lot of people go with Jimmy. When you die, you're done. There's nothing to worry about. But to me, there is till you get to that point. you know.
Yes, right, exactly. I see a long face, dark eyes, a huge black hat over the head, sort of tilting a little bit to the right. I see nostrils. I see a mouth, a long jaw, and almost like smoke coming out of the mouth, almost like either breath or maybe the person was a smoker. But I see a long face, big nostrils, mouth, smoke or haze coming out of it, or breath, dark I don't see eyeballs or any of that. I just see dark circles for eyes and a huge black hat, almost like a large, oversized fedora. That's what I see there. Is that what you see?
Well, you're talking about the guy on your left, right?
Yeah, I see right. Like, I don't know if everything's reversed for you, but he's sort of leaning. If you look straight at the picture, he's center right, and then he's like up against a black wall or something.
Yeah, that's the thing. Actually, now I do see his eyes up there, but and his nostrils. I see what you're saying, where it looks like he got big old nostrils there. But yeah, I do.
And a
I don't
mouth
know
that
what that is.
has like haze
Looks like,
coming out of it, and a long jaw, and a
yeah,
big
well,
black hat, like a big black oversized fedora.
you know, I never paid attention to that like that.
Yeah, doesn't it look like a big black hat on his head?
And it looks like there's also something else there, but it's so hard to tell. I see what you're saying.
Now, are you able to?
It looks
I mean,
like it.
we're looking at a picture, but this was an actual image that you saw that you took a picture of as it was happening. Something like this. How long? I guess it's hard to tell. Like, how long would an image like that last? Is it split second, or does it last 10 minutes or an hour, or an image like that would be just there?
Seconds usually. Now, as I'm taking pictures, sometimes I can actually see the face is changing. I'm actually going to set up a.
Jen Barry says she sees a dragon in this.
There's something to would be my left or of the image. There is something there that looks really weird. I
Yeah,
never could figure out what it was. Again, it's
like
probably
the haze coming out of the mouth is leading towards that image, right?
yeah, yeah.
Now, it's really interesting. I have to tell you, when I first saw this, when we had this up on the screen earlier, folks, if you're just joining us, you can see this entire episode archived on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Click that red subscribe button and click the thumbs up too. Give us a like, leave a comment, drop a comment. Let us know how much you enjoyed this episode, any questions you have on our YouTube channel. But when we first put this picture up, Jimmy, what I just described to you, I saw with the long head, with the long jaw, the nostrils, the smoke or breath coming out of the mouth, the dark circle eyes that are sort of set in, and this big black fedora hat. It's interesting because when we first put that up, that's not what I saw at all. None of that popped out. It was
Right.
just a blur of an image of whatever. But now, in really looking at it again and again, I really see that image. Now, does that happen when you look at something more than once like that?
Yeah, you'll start seeing it differently sometimes. And also, I've captured something and it's a good photo, and the next day it'll be gone.
Yeah, that's something, huh?
Yep. I've had that happen many times, actually.
Mm, wow. Has anything ever lingered where maybe it showed up a year ago and it's still there? If elements of it are still popping in.
Um, yeah, I hear something over here now. I'm trying to figure out what it is. Yes, yes. There is things that stick around. I've had certain ones I may see that I've seen for years. They just want to move in with me.
Did they become friendly at all? I mean, did they become?
Again,
Well, that's not what they're there for.
I mean, look, they can. How can I explain this? They can be friendly or make you think they're friendly, and then that's not their intention. Their intention is to make you think they're nice, and then they'll do something later to you, or I mean, I've had them help me. Yes, I've had things good come out of them. Yes, you know, but they like to play games. They like to manipulate. Some like to lie. You know, it's again, it's you have to be very careful with all this. They can make you think you're seeing a little child, and it's not a child. It could very well be a demon or something that's not human at all. So be very careful with all of this, including myself. I mean, I'm not no, you know, very
You're human, right? Exactly. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Are they usually here to give a message? Is that what it is?
No, it could be all kinds of different things. Yeah, you know,
Yeah,
the
that's
guy
what.
that had a lot to do with this house is still around. His name's Mike. He's still around, and he actually gets mad because the way things are being done around here a little bit. He's not with me. They're good with me, but one I did get pulled out of bed once before I quit smoking, and I found out later that he did not like people smoking in his house or in his bed, and I was smoking in bed. And I got pulled out. I remember falling down the ground, looking up at the ceiling as I'm heading to the ground. You know,
It's like, what the heck was
That's,
that? What did? Maybe he tried to protect you too. Like if
you
you
know,
fell asleep with the cigarette or something,
because
maybe.
I did burn some stuff. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. So I'm glad I don't smoke no more. Yep.
Jen Berry says, guest Jimmy, what is the wood shed by the water?
Woodshed by the water.
The wood shed by the water. Is there something that you're seeing that's a wood shed by the water? Let's see if we can go back and show some of these.
That's outside, but that's by the driveway and the car and the bike. That's in here. That's in here. That's in here. In here.
That's really something, that one there.
That's a good one, yeah. Them guys. That's by my front door side. We do have a pond here, and if you went and looked on Instagram, there's a little hunting thing over there that they would sit in to hunt. Um, maybe that, or we have
Because that does
another.
look, yeah.
Yeah, that would peek around at me at the desk there.
Wood shed by the water.
That's outside.
Do you have a wood shed by the water?
There is a little wooden building, but it's a hunter's blind type of deal.
Now, Kyle says, how did you know he had a shed by the water? How did Jen know that you have the shed by the water? Wow. Isn't that something?
Probably went to Instagram on my. Remember, I said you go to my Instagram, so a lot of pictures are up there.
Jen, wait till our show's over, then go. You're confusing us. That's funny. This is really amazing, and I just can't believe, that you. She says, "No, I can see." So, but are you seeing it in a photo? Are you seeing it somewhere else, Jen? We're trying to figure out where you're seeing the shed, because Kyle says, "How did you know he has the shed by the water?" But you're saying you see the shed by the water, and you're asking him about it. So, where are you actually seeing it? One of these photos, or somewhere else, or are you seeing it in your mind? I mean,
Maybe psychic. I have psychic abilities.
could be some sort of a vibe maybe she's getting. Really something, huh? Coming through the screen here. She's getting picking up some in her third eye.
She was right. Wow.
So she's not looking at a picture. She's not seeing it in any of these photos or anywhere else. She says in her third eye, she knew you had the shed by the water. And Kyle says, I think she means with her gift. That's what my
Yeah.
assumption was, because we don't have the shed by the water thing, right? Exactly.
Oh, called it right because there it is. It's right next by the water over there. And then there's another building up on the other end. The guy who built this house was a big hunter, a
Mm.
trapper, and a stonemason. And but yeah, so yeah, he was right. Pretty good.
Cool stuff, huh?
And
Mm.
she when I play some more scratch off.
Kyle had said earlier with Pennsylvania, it's in the water, and Jen's in Pennsylvania in Allentown. So, so it could be. This was amazing, Jimmy Boots Finfera. Jimmy, I tell you, really, really amazing. And
I hope it was for you guys. I hope so. I've enjoyed it.
oh, yeah, you guys have really carved out your own paths. Your brother, again, I mentioned, is the Hollywood actor Joe Finfera. I believe he's starring in an Amazon Prime movie right now, and he's been on our show a couple of times. He's a great guest as well. You coming on and opening our eyes to all of this and explaining it and giving us examples of it, which is really cool and fascinating. And Instagram gang, head to Instagram. Is the Instagram Jimmy Boots Finfera or Jimmy Boots, or what is it under?
Jimmy Boots Finfera, but if you type Jimmy Boots Paranormal on Google, you can get to my
Then
Facebook.
it's all, then everything is there.
Uh,
Yeah.
we are having Kyle's making our YouTube channel, and we will be having things on here within a couple more weeks, and we'll post all that as well. Um,
Jen Berry is saying, what is the underground tunnel bunker?
Underground tunnel bunker. They're actually digging out there right now, but they're working on the pond, dredging it. But there
They're
was,
digging out there, really?
yeah, they are digging out
Cave. She's sensing there's a cave on the property.
there. See, I seen something on Google Maps because I was looking at our area here because the things I was seeing, I was trying to figure out where they would be staying at, in the woods. And there was this one area that looked like rocks that went into the side of the ground, kind of. Something was called a doorway to something like a cave or something. But I never had walked back there because it was on somebody else's property over there. But
Wonder
yeah,
if, as they're digging, maybe that's something that's yet to be discovered, or something as they dig,
very
something will be revealed.
yeah, they drained some of the pond and they're the farmlands here, and the stuff the ground comes into the pond, the wash off, so they have to got very shallow, and so they're digging that out now. So that is very possible. Maybe that's just what he's feeling.
What she's feeling, right? Exactly. Jimmy, this was amazing, really amazing. And I hope the show met whatever expectations you had, and you enjoyed the time with me and all of us as much as I certainly have with you. And somebody who pops in towards the latter part, Mr. George Burns, who's here. Now, he's here in spirit, but he's also here in front of me. So he's my version of sort of what you do, because here he is. But how could he be here? He's no longer here. He made it to 100, and then that was that. But he pops in all the time at the latter part. He said you knocked it out of the park. He thoroughly enjoyed it. He learned a lot. He's got his cigar there. Uh, we haven't had anything, happen as far as his having the cigar and smoking it. He usually sits below with his martini and listens to the show, and then he pops in towards the latter part to thank the guest for being here, and he thoroughly enjoyed it, my friend. This was terrific. Thanks for joining us. This was very, very cool. Jimmy Boots Finfera. And Kathleen says this was quite a show. Absolutely. Kathleen in New York City, Maureen in Arizona. Yes, it was very intriguing. Jen's still feeling things. She says, "What is the key? Like a house key? Is there a key?" She's even drawing images of keys. Hmm?
Well, I tell you what, Jim Barry, go to my hit me up on Facebook or uh,
Instagram.
there.
Yeah, and
Figure this out.
share some of that feeling that the vibes that she's getting. Yeah,
Right.
cool stuff. Cool stuff brought out here on the Jim Masters Show. Sherry Larson in Kansas. Very interesting evening, and thanking you for joining us tonight, Jimmy. Very, very cool stuff. This was really great, Jimmy. Thanks for spending all the time with us here on the Jim Masters Show. Were you born James? Were you born James?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, as a kid, I was always called Jimmy because father, and I'm the fifth of all the Jameses, and yeah, really.
Yes.
Wow, now that's a little. And I was called Jimmy as a kid, and some of my cousins still say Jimmy, because my father, Jim, and we're all James, but he uses Jim, and I was Jimmy as a kid, and still some of the family says Jimmy. And you are Jimmy.
Right. I noticed my iPad said 10% left of my battery, so I'm trying to
10%. Wow. Oh. Ooh. Now, what caused that? Was that really the 10%, or was that one of the visitors saying, "Okay, you've told all our secrets now. Stop." That's cool stuff. All right, my friend, you saved that 10% and you recharge. This was amazing. Spread the word about our show. We'll keep the porch light on for you. Jimmy Boots Finfera, you're welcome back anytime. Best of luck with all that you got coming up. And it was really a pleasure having you with us again. I hope the show met whatever expectations you had, my friend. And I know you're a viewer too. So you're one of the lovely viewers. You were watching last night. You're a regular viewer of our series, which we love. So you're a guest and a viewer. We call that double lovity.
Well, I work down the street for Allen's Eatery, and my time schedule is fluctuates when your show's on. So sometimes I can't always make it. And
catch it in the archives, right? Yeah,
right.
Which is awesome. And this will be archived as well on our YouTube channel. Jimmy, thanks very much for being with us. Really cool conversation. Best of luck with everything, and we'll chat again soon. Okay, my friend.
Thank you, buddy.
What are you going to do now after all of this? Do you have to chill out, or do you think because you spent this amount of time, you'll feel some things may happen later? You think?
Go drink some coffee and vape.
Cut right to the chase. Forget about all the other things that might happen tonight. He's going to have coffee and a little vape. That's it. Thanks, Jimmy.
Thank you.
Pleasure. You be well. And we chatted for about 2 hours. Isn't that amazing? All the guests say it never feels like that. It just floats. It just happens, And yeah. And we just take it.
Thank you.
Just take it in whatever direction, it goes. And that's about it. You be well, my friend. Okay.
Oh, thank you, buddy.
Thank you, Jimmy. Take care. And say hi to Joe for me.
See ya.
All right. Bye-bye now. Really fascinating stuff, huh? Really fascinating. And had an opportunity to have our special guest, paranormal investigator, as well as retired bounty hunter. That was cool too, talking about some of his work as a bounty hunter. It's not like you come across a bounty hunter every day of your life. And every special episode, every day is something different here on the Jim Masters Show Live. That's what we call it, an entertainment, lifestyle, variety talk show series. Like the variety talk show series that you remember of the past, where they had guests from all backgrounds coming on and unique conversations and really just cool stuff. Because variety is the spice of life, and I love learning about all these cool folks as well who grace us with their presence on the Jim Masters Show Live when they stop by. Sherry says, thank you, Jim, for a really good show and for all you do for us Lovities. The pleasure is all mine. Thank you, Sherry, for being here. Christine Clifton says, Jim and Jimmy were both the fifth, too. Isn't that amazing? James the Fifth's. Such a riveting conversation. Fascinating looking at all the photos. Thanks for this cool and interesting episode. The pleasure is all mine and ours. And Jimmy's as well. If you missed any of the photos, again, really, really cool stuff. We thank Jimmy for joining us here on the Jim Masters Show Live, Entertainment Lifestyle Variety Talk Show series. It was a really, really cool episode. Again, he's on Instagram as well. You can see him there. Some more cool stuff. We thank Kyle for stopping by sort of remotely. He also did a fabulous super chat. We thank Kyle for doing that, supporting our show. You can always do it, folks. It really does help us out with all everything here, the expenses and, 700 plus shows we've done. Tomorrow, we're going to have lots of fun. Barbara Brighton is here. She's all excited. We were chatting today. Legendary comedian, actress, singer, known for extraordinary impressions of the incomparable and, of course, now late but amazing legend, Joan Rivers. Barbara Brighton is with us tomorrow. Kevin Eubanks, another legend. You know Kevin Eubanks, of course. Kevin Eubanks, music director for The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. That's right, The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. And that's really amazing, too, that he's going to be with us because he's going to play, he might even play live. We'll have to see. An accomplished guitarist, composer, TV personality. He's also starring in the remake of You Bet Your Life with Jay Leno. So they're reunited with that game show that's on Fox television. Kevin Eubanks is going to be here. So Barbara Brighton, Wednesday. Kevin Eubanks, the acclaimed legendary guitarist from The Tonight Show with Jay Leno and so much more. And You Bet Your Life with Jay Leno, the game show. And he's just had an incredible career. He's a music legend. He'll be with us Thursday. Friday, actor, cowboy, dancer, author, film and TV weapons expert, holder of 2 Guinness World Records. Actor Will Roberts is with us on Friday. He's going to be amazing. We're excited to have him with us here, right exclusively on the Jim Masters Show for all of you. Yeah, what a cool episode, huh? Really fantastic episode. Can't wait to watch this one back. Sometimes I watch them all as well when I get a chance to do that. Kathleen Walker in New York City says, thank you, Jim. Have a great night. Good night, all you as well. And Jen Barry, who was really feeling the vibe today here on JMS. Yeah, that's how we roll. Just another day and night for those of us who see. Going to have more egg salad. After the water and the shed and the keys and the caves. He's going to have coffee and vape, and that's Jimmy. Jimmy's going to have coffee and vape, and Jen is going to have some egg salad. It's all about basics. Thumbs up from Pam. And Maureen says, as creepy in a good way as the show was, I was so fascinated by everything. Thank you, Jim, for leading the conversation in your usual magnificent fashion. Good night, everyone. Tight, lovely hugs to you as well. Maureen in Arizona, USA. I love it. I'll send you a question. You give me an honest answer, then a personal answer. Ooh, that's cool. But only if it's something positive, Jane. We only do positive. Nothing about other people, nothing about other things other than something positive. You want to tell us how much you enjoy the show, or you need some levity. I get about 1,000 emails a day between this show and the other 3 or 4 shows I host on television and radio. It's crazy. I need 3 people just to go through the emails. We have a couple of people who try to go through them for this show to help out. But it gets crazy. And we love every single one of them too. We love all of the emails. We love the tweets, the Facebook messages, the Twitter posts, Instagram posts and messages. Thank you, everybody, for all of that. You can find me on Jim Masters TV on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and of course, our YouTube channel is Jim Masters TV, where we house this Monsters series for all of you, and you, and you, and you, and you. And we thank you very much for all the time and the attention and everything else. And again, thanks to Kyle for that fabulous super chat, which we really, really appreciate. We're going to duck out. We have Barbara Brighton with us tomorrow. Lots of laughs. She's a legend. And again, we thank you for spending time with us. We don't say goodbye here. We say see you later. Ciao, cheers, slancha, vida zain, hasta la vista, sayonara, shalom, moilu. Be well, take care, be good to one another, and be good to yourself. That is absolutely key, is to make sure that you take care of yourself as well. And if you ever need a quick pick-me-up, just want to learn something, be inspired, or have a good time, a laugh or two, stop by. We'll keep the porch light on for you as well, as we do for thousands of folks around the world who watch our show live and those who watch our show in the archives later. We thank you if you've subscribed to our YouTube channel already. If you haven't, boy, it really helps us grow when you do, and we hope you will. Hit that red subscribe button right there, and make sure you click the notification bell so you never miss any of our episodes. You'll be alerted every time we have our shows, which is all the time. And don't forget to give this episode a thumbs up like. There's actually a thumbs up icon on this episode. It says like. Click the like one. That's the one on the left. We appreciate that. And leave a comment. Drop a comment on the YouTube channel for us as well. That means a lot too. We really, really appreciate that. And good stuff. Christine Clifton, North Carolina, says, Jim, thanks again for this incredibly interesting show. Good night, all lovely hugs to you as well, Christine. Jen Barry says, I never met guest Jimmy before in me life. So glad I did now. Jim, can we have Jimmy back soon? We got this seeing Zen vibe. Absolutely. Hi, lovelies. Hi, all lovelies. Love you as well. Lovely hugs from Kathleen in New York City, and from everybody watching and commenting, and all of those who are watching later on in the archives. Be well, gang. We love you all. Take care, and thanks for joining us on this very fascinating episode. They all are, of the Jim Masters Show live. Take care. Be well. Thanks for watching around the world, and cheers.